you.
Yes, I sent you softwares. Can you download it? Download it completed?
Yeah, downloading completed. I already installed the
Yeah,
VMware.
I'll make you presenter. Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
This platform using to store the data, store the blocks.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, yeah. Where is the Cloudera platform? Yeah. Open that. Yeah. Select this one. Select one.
Which,
Blue one. Yes. No, no, no. Top.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Open. No, no, no. Not like that.
From
Yeah,
here.
VMware, right? Open virtual machine.
Yeah.
Open virtual machine. Yeah, now we can open. Click on that. Yes. Take ownership
Take ownership. Okay.
and play that. Click on power on virtual machine. I copied it. Yeah, it will open. Okay, click on OK. Click on OK.
Okay. It's up.
Yes. Okay, this is a platform to store the transaction data. Okay,
Okay.
right. I'll share my screen. First, terminology is very important. So terminology, we know that most of the terminologies here in blockchain. So Ethereum, Hyperledger. So first I'll explain you some terminology, then we'll go to storage. So blockchain and Bitcoin, Bitcoin, contract, contracts, tokens, solidity programming, Ethereum, Hyperledger. Okay, Python or Scala. So these are the main terminology.
Okay.
And one more thing, right? Cryptocurrency. Okay, cryptocurrency is also one of the major role in this cryptocurrency because every bitcoins they have a right own cryptocurrency. So I'll explain you what is that also.
Okay.
So what do you want exactly understanding Bitcoin first of all? What is exact normal meaning of the Bitcoin?
Digital currency.
Is it just first digital asset? Right, this is exact meaning, isn't
Okay.
it? So this is your cryptocurrency. So without any authorization, right? Without any validation, directly, we can use this Bitcoin for any usage. Actually, first digital Bitcoin, so that is a cryptocurrency. So don't confuse that, right? First digital asset, cryptocurrency, we can also call Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin implementation came, right? We have a different platforms, platform Ethereum and Hyperledger. ఈ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ యూజ్ చేసుకొని we can implement the applications, blockchain applications. Okay, and storage is if data is limited, SQL, if right for limited transactions, that means limited block storage, isn't it? But when you write big application, right, nowadays this company is using distributed file system, right? This is especially for large large amount of data or right number of blocks, the transactions. Okay, that is the way. So here where you are using the storage as a backend, the platform to implement it, either Hyperledger, either Ethereum, and the languages Python, Scala, Java, and JavaScript, anything, right? which is a simple
Okay.
language. You can for easy for you can select anything. And already blockchain core language of the blockchain, solidity programming. So you can use, because this is a little easy to understand and simple solidity, and Python also very easy, isn't it? And compared with the Java and Scala, Python is the most of the people selecting, right?
Okay.
That is the thing. So mainly whatever here our main agenda to implement the blockchain application with the bitcoins, right? So that is the meaning of cryptocurrency. Everything is the every bitcoin asset is a cryptocurrency. So if with cryptocurrency implementation, okay, we are using this right blockchain technology. So these are all the terms of the blockchain development, right?
Right.
You want to write it, you can write it.
Okay. Um, I'll just take it.
What is exact meaning? You tell me. So last class I given the demo and so little understanding today. So what is the meaning you understanding? So I mean in real time terms, can you explain the meaning of blockchain?
It's basically storing the transactions in
Yes.
blocks
Okay.
uh, with a hash value,
Yes. The main specific of
and
blockchain saying
uh,
that, right? What is my experience saying that? The point here, the specific blockchain that underlies Bitcoin, that underlies Bitcoin or another coin offering. This is the main. And again, when you get other coin offering, then only your credit will be increasing that, isn't it?
right.
Clear my point? Suppose you take the phone network. What is that phone network saying that? A specific phone network, isn't it? A specific use of phone network, isn't it? Example, fax. Got a point?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is exactly specific use of phone telephone is obviously using for some fax, maybe, isn't it? Some say phone network for communication. So that is a way. The meaning is saying that here also the blockchain saying that it underlies the Bitcoin or another coin offering. So this is the purpose we are going to write develop the people developing application with the different languages for the Bitcoin for the cryptocurrency. So that is the exact meaning, isn't it? And one more point also here, blockchain saying that it permits any blockchain application, it permits the transactions, mainly transactions to be right gathered, list of transactions to be gathered into blocks and recorded in the application, right? But where
Right.
is the recorded storing? I told you yesterday, demo class block is maintaining default, right? Size is, I told you, 120 MB they can take it, or 64 MB they can take it, isn't it? So this is a very best practice of the selecting the block size storage to store into the right in distributing file system, isn't it? So in
Right.
120 MB, if you take that this block size, so how many right transaction will be storing that? Depends on the block size, depends on the size of the block, depends on the right number of transactions. So but ఒక block 128 MB, isn't it?
Right.
120 MB తీసుకున్నా దాంట్లో మేబీ 78 MB చేసుకోవచ్చు, రిమైనింగ్ స్పేస్ ఉంటుంది, isn't it? Like this,
Yes.
it can maintain that, permitting all the transaction gathered into blocks and recorded, right? And each transactions, whatever the blocks, right? If you want to access this, right? What is the point here? Blockchain saying it allows you, allows the resulting ledger to be accessed by different servers. Okay, got a point.
Okay.
So different
Yeah.
server means, as I mentioned yesterday, we have a right set of machines, or you can say set of nodes. Node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. So your blocks can store anywhere in the nodes with replication. We discussed in the first demo class, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll show you that the diagram. So this is they're maintaining that set of servers, right? You can access from your blocks, your transaction from any machine, because whatever transaction storing that, it can store any machine of the here in this cluster in the distributing file system. So as I mentioned, it is a replication is always default is a 3, isn't it? Whatever transaction is creating that, that will be replication will be how many times? 3
Three
times.
times.
So it will be split into three different machine, not in the same machine, isn't it? So in case I mentioned you, in case if any machine, any server is dead, because data will not lost here. If any server dead, data will not lost. Data will be safe in another machine. Got a point?
Yeah.
So that is the default take automatically taking the distributing file system. If you are maintaining the large amount of data, you can go for distributing file system or else SQL. Because of this distributing file system, your blockchain application performance will be very high. Because how much data is coming, how much number of transactions creating, millions of transactions coming, millions of blocks creating, doesn't matter. The distributing file system can handle and manage it, and will give the high response rate very highly, isn't it? Claim a point.
Yeah.
That's why the blockchain is always maintaining the right distributing model. So nowadays, instead of this process, right, what is the naming they're giving for this storage of blocks? Very important technology, distributed ledger. So according to blockchain technology, they are calling that a distributed ledger. This is a point. Okay.
Okay.
In distributed ledger, so they are saying that two different type of the storages. One is right centralized ledger, and second one is distributed ledger. So tell me, can you guess it? If you developing your own blockchain application, right, or your company developing a blockchain application for public or private, for in terms of to store the blocks, that means in terms of to store the transaction data of the blockchain users. So which ledger you are going to recommend it? Centralized ledger or distributed ledger? Centralized ledger
This.
also is saying distributing model only. Distributed ledger means all distributing. But what is the main here? Specific ledger we can select it to develop the blockchain application, right? To take as a in terms of storage here, isn't it? Here I'm discussing completing the blockchain storage level, because if you understand, because the main importance of subject is a storage. So that's why first we are focusing on most main storage. Then we'll come to the right contract tokens, platforms. That is another agenda. Okay. So here, what is the main here storage? What I'm saying that, so here limited transaction SQL. I told you large amount of data, you can go for distributing file system, right? But here my question is what? Here, according to blockchain technology, we are calling that distributed ledger to store the large amount of blocks, isn't it? So that is one type is centralized ledger, one is a distributed ledger. So banking industry, suppose if you take the UK or US and Middle East countries, so in terms of banking industry level, they are recommending to use this centralized ledger for the blockchain application of them, isn't it? Clear of
Mhm.
point? And
Yeah.
non-banking industries, right? Non-banking industry, they are recommended to use the distributed ledger, isn't it? This is a non, right, banking industries, right? They are using the distributed ledger. So now tell me here in centralized distributing file system, one is the main server, bank server, which is a and which is connected with the different machines, different nodes, right? Different nodes and number of nodes. But this banking server accessing by how many people? Many clients. Client A, bank server, same server accessing there. And client B also accessing the bank server, isn't it?
Yes.
And client C also accessing the bank server, right? So multiple clients they can access this banking server, right? Here banking server, which is a maintaining the centralized ledger with a set of machines. So the client can do some client A do some transaction, client do B some do some transaction, client C some do transaction. So whatever this blocks creating the chain of blocks from A, chain of blocks from B, chain of blocks from C, all will be storing into the in this centralized banking server with the set of distributing file system. Okay, get the
Okay.
point?
Yeah.
So you can ask the question: centralized bank ledger is always is work on banking industries, right? Here, especially this centralized ledger using by banking industry, right? So what they're saying that what is the mainly what type of records maybe they can have it. Example, bank can holds the golden record, gold record. I mean golden record, right? But here, client B, suppose example, client B must reconcile its own ledger against of the against that of bank and and must consume bank convince mainly ఇక్కడ must convince bank of the to state of the bank ledger, right? Even so, what is the meaning here? The client B accessing the bank server, right? So here some bank hold the some golden record. This for this transaction, many clients accessing for the same record. What will happen then? Because here not the single server, it is using by set of machines. In case if one server is down, another server is always it already running. All the machines running. In case if any server run it to access this some record from this machine or any other machine, we don't know. As a client, we don't know what front end what we're doing internally, what happening there. But in case your transaction in this machine 1, I mean your block in this machine 1, if you're unable to access that from the machine 1, so automatically what server will do that, it can forward your request to the another machine. Got a point? Because
Okay.
data will not lose it, because whatever transaction the machine 1, same copy will be another machine, either in the node 8, either in the node 7 maybe. So it will forward immediate request to that. Got a point? If it's forwarding, then only the customers, the clients can form that right chain of chain of transactions, isn't it? When accessing the transaction, machine fail అయ్యి transaction stop అయిపోతే అప్పుడు your chain of the blocks will not creating that, isn't it? So that's a reason it is a set of machine for the distributing ledger or centralized ledger, right? Chain of transaction. So that means it's giving to you right blockchain, right? So which is for your Bitcoin amount. Got a point? Understand?
No. Can you repeat that?
So what am I saying, that the same server, the banking server, right? Server always banking server single, but this single machine server to store all the transaction data, they are using the different set of machines. I mean distributing file system, isn't it? Right? And
Right.
you can say that this is a master and these are the slaves, isn't it?
Hmm.
You know
Okay.
point. ఇక్కడ మాస్టర్ కి హై అవైలబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది బ్యాంకింగ్ మాస్టర్ సర్వర్ కి, బట్ ఇవన్నీ స్లేవ్స్. బట్ యువర్ మెయిన్ డేటా ఎక్కడ స్టోర్ అయింది? యువర్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ డేటా స్టోరింగ్ ఇన్ దిస్ మెషిన్స్, isn't it?
Oh, right.
But you don't know your block data, your transaction data in which machine. We don't know. Who knows? This master machine, because this master machine internally maintain the meta information, isn't it? Whenever your request going to your financial application, first request taken by what? Master, isn't it? According to your request, your block data, your block one of the your transaction block one here, and then again as a client A you are doing another transaction, again block 2 may be here, isn't it? Again you are doing one more transaction as a client A, one more block 3, isn't it? And again you are doing one more transaction, isn't it?
Right.
So here list of blocks creating, as a client A you are doing the many transactions, it maintain the single machine and same copies will maintain in the another machine also, isn't it? See that same client A information in the node 2 also, isn't it? Understand?
Mhm. Yeah.
Same client A inform transaction data which is in node 2 also, in case this node 1 is dead, isn't it? And this machine is available, I mean your client A transaction data is available.
Okay.
Got a point?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
So my point here client A want to access the transaction data. Maybe if node 1 is dead, automatically bank server which will move to the request to the another machine, isn't it? You know point.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So as a client A or client B, whatever transaction doing that, that will be chain of transaction will be storing into the machines, right? That is for your blockchain or for the your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin has a some amount. I have a maybe $20,000. I have amount in my Bitcoin. So this Bitcoin amount I can use for multiple purpose, right?
Right.
All this Bitcoin use multiple purposes. So different transaction doing as a client A to use this $20,000, isn't it? So it maintain the list of transaction to store into the machine of the application, right? That is a chain of transaction. That is a called chain of blocks. it makes the blockchain for your specific user, isn't it? Now you can check it. You can retrieve that from the application, right? As a client A, what is the transaction data of the block 2? Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe you last 6 months you are using Bitcoin. Maybe you last 6 months you are doing Bitcoin. Maybe you done maybe 1 lakh transaction you done it. But you can retrieve that whatever in the transaction 2 block 2, isn't it? Isn't it? And whatever transaction in block 20, isn't it? Whatever transaction in block 20, you can retrieve from the application, isn't it? For retrieving
Okay.
also you don't need any authorization, isn't it? Zero
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
But only it verifying with your blockchain ID or blockchain key value ID. That's it. Got a point?
Yeah.
But this is for I am telling you in terms of this centralized ledger. Clear a point?
Yeah.
So in this centralized ledger, saying that simply it is a always using multiple ledger. ఎందుకంటే బ్యాంకింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ బ్లాక్ చైన్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుందంటే సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ they need a multiple ledger, not single ledger is not sufficient, isn't it? Multiple ledger means DFS 1, DFS 2, isn't it? DFS 3, isn't it? Like this they need to maintain the multiple distributing file system ఎందుకంటే they have a already existing customers, isn't it? Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is single ledger is not enough for the banking sector if they want to use implement the blockchain application. But still, I didn't use this centralized ledger because we are doing normally public application, private company blockchain applications. But if any banking industry like maybe Bank of America, maybe right the Bank of Dubai and Bank of Scotland, so these companies can implement it, but still going wide. But if they're implementing this, they are going to follow 100% centralized ledger, isn't it? Definitely, they're using multiple ledger, not with a single ledger, isn't it? Clear
Right.
point. So
Yeah.
normal, if you want, suppose you want to run your own blockchain application for the different customers, then what ledger you are going to follow that, right? That is distributed ledger. Clear point?
Yeah.
Distributed ledger, right? It is for your private, right? For application ledger, it's related to the some thousand customer, maybe some 1 million customers. You can use that, okay? Because if you use in distributed ledger, right? That is not for banking industry, that is not for any CRM industry, that is not for any e-commerce industry, which is your own, right? Understand my point?
Okay. So where is the metadata saved for the distributed? There is no metadata for distributed ledgers.
Where in the main master machine, right? Master
Okay.
machine. This is master machine.
That's for
This is not
centralized
master.
ledger, right?
All the nodes are slaves, isn't it?
Okay. Right.
So this master machine knows ఏ నోడ్ లో ఏ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ డేటా ఉంది, ఏ నోడ్ లో ఎవరి ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఉంది, ఏ నోడ్ లో ఎవరి బిట్ కాయిన్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఉంది. హూ నోస్ దిస్ మాస్టర్ మెషిన్, isn't it?
Okay. Right.
So I don't need to the users no need to they can't remember, they knows only to log in and they can use that transaction, that's it. But whenever you want to retrieve that, obviously request going through the your banking master server, which is going to identify that where is the Srinivas block 1, isn't it? Because
Right.
already this master machine holds the where is the Srinivas block 1, isn't it?
Yes.
Understand?
Yeah.
So in case if in multiple ledger, right, if this master is down, isn't it? It never down, but it will never down. More in case 0.1% chances if it is failed, all the transaction data will be lost, isn't it?
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
slaves are live. Master data, isn't it?
Yeah. Can't communicate with slaves.
Yes, because your whole metadata in the master machine only. Master machine fail slaves live lo undi no use, isn't
Right.
it? So that's why
Yeah.
the banking industry they'll take more security on the master machine, and they'll take the highly confidence system with expensive hardware for this machine, isn't it? They will not use inexpensive hardware for this master machine. If you use inexpensive for the slaves data nodes, for the nodes doesn't matter. In case ఎందుకంటే slave ఒక node fail అయిననుకోండి node లో data safe గా ఉంటుంది replicated, isn't it? అదే మాస్టర్ ఫెయిల్ అయినప్పుడు that is the problem. Clear no point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Understand? So we are going to more focus on the mainly distributing ledger. Distributing ledger. So this is always when you are developing the company is doing that own blockchain application, they are using this right distributed ledger. There is a one ledger for here, not multiple ledger, but where centralizing always multiple ledger, but this is one ledger, isn't it? That means this means what? All nodes have some level of access, to that ledger. Okay, one ledger only.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Here also distributing ledger, but one ledger, not multiple ledger. See the multiple ledger lo మనం what you see in the clients. Banking industry ki maybe different clients ఉండొచ్చు ఆ application, right? You should have, isn't it?
Yes.
So but here not the clients. Distributing ledger law always users can directly log in, can directly access, can directly do transaction in this one ledger. So one ledger also it is one DFS. That is the point I'm saying that. Okay. So node A, node B, node B, node C, node D. Got on point? So
Yes.
here also node A, node B. Look, number of single ledger. Master node, got my point? Single node. So where multiple ledger లో మనకి మల్టిపుల్ మాస్టర్స్ ఉంటాయి ఎందుకంటే మల్టిపుల్ డిఎఫ్ఎస్ కదా బట్ ఇయర్ వన్ లెడ్జర్ దట్ మీన్స్ వన్ డిఎఫ్ఎస్ గోడా పాయింట్
Yeah.
ఇక్కడ కూడా మనం మిలియన్స్ ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ మెయింటైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఇది నార్మల్గా నాన్ బ్యాంకింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ దే విల్ రికమెండ్ దిస్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ లెడ్జర్ క్లియర్ పాయింట్ సో you can call this one single entity ఎందుకంటే సింగిల్ డిఎఫ్ఎస్ right, and where this centralized distributor always saying that
Multiple.
multiple entities. Okay.
Okay.
Now main point you need to understand how use. This is the point. So this point is saying that. So understand now what is the distributed ledger now clearly.
Yes.
సో ఈ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ లెజర్ మనం జస్ట్ ఇంట్లో డిస్కస్ చేసాం బట్ ఈ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ లెజర్ బ్లాక్ చైన్ లో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తే హౌ బ్లాక్ చైన్ అప్లికేషన్ యూజ్ ద డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ లెజర్. దట్ ఈస్ మై పాయింట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ మనం ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసినప్పుడు సో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసే ముందు వి నీడ్ టు నో స్టెప్స్. సో ఫస్ట్ 3-4 క్లాసెస్ మొత్తం థియరీ ఉంటుంది శ్రీనివాస్, దెన్ విల్ గో ఫర్ హ్యాండ్స్ ఆన్. ఓకే
ఓకే.
ఎందుకంటే ఇదంతా కొత్త కొత్త టెక్నాలజీ కాబట్టి.
Yeah, sure.
So any terms we need to discuss. All these terms once we discussed, then we'll go for a hands on.
Okay.
Okay. So ఈ distributed ledger మన బ్లాక్ చైన్ కి ఎలా యూజ్ అవుతుంది, దట్ ఈస్ ద పాయింట్. సో టోటల్లీ హియర్ 6 steps are there. Totally 7 steps. Step 1, this distributed ledger only backend level only. Okay, right? లాజికల్ గా ఏముండదు దీంట్లో. లాజికల్ గా మెయిన్ సర్వర్ ఐపీ ఉంటుంది. యు ఆర్ రైటింగ్ లాజికల్ థింగ్ ఫర్ యువర్ బిట్ కాయిన్స్ use the languages I mentioned here. Logical thing you can implement with using this coding, isn't it?
Right.
And your application, you can use your application development using this platform. మనకి జావాలో మనకి హైపర్నెట్, స్ప్రింగ్, జేవి ఇవి ఉన్నాయి చూడండి, గుర్తుందా? మీకు తెలుసా, ఐడియా ఉన్నాయా?
లేదండి, ఎప్పుడు వాళ్ళు
అలాంటి ప్లాట్ఫామ్ లాగా ఇప్పుడు .NET ఒక ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఉంటుంది, జావాకి ఒక ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఉంటుంది, isn't it? స్కాలాకి ఒక ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఉంటుంది, పైథాన్కి ఒక ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఉంటుంది. అలాగే సో బ్లాక్ చైన్ అప్లికేషన్స్ కి రైట్ టు డెవలప్ ద బ్లాక్ చైన్ అప్లికేషన్, దీస్ ఆర్ ద ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్. ఈ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ యూజ్ చేసుకొని స్టోరేజ్ గా డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ లెటర్స్ తీసుకొని లాజికల్ గా ఈ లాంగ్వేజ్ యూజ్ చేసుకొని ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ HTML లో ఏదో ఒకటి యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Visual Studio.
Sorry?
I'm familiar with Visual Studio.
Familiar with what?
Visual Studio.
Visual Studio, okay. No problem. So Visual Studio is okay.
Yeah, and C#, Windows
application platforms.
Yeah.
These platforms, what I've mentioned, the platforms, the Ethereum Hyperledger they're already using internally by founder Ethereum Hyperledger. They use already JV and Java APIs. They use that, but when you're using this platform, we don't want to only follow Java. These platforms are multi-language platforms APIs. You can use Java, Python, Scala, JavaScript to implement the applications.
Okay.
Whenever you go for interview also, what platform you using for your blockchain application? So you can say either Ethereum, you can say Hyperledger. Okay. Most of the companies using Ethereum and some companies using Hyperledger to develop the applications. Okay. Main agenda of developing any blockchain application, the agenda is main cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin asset. Okay.
Okay.
Got it now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So here, so ఈ బ్లాక్చైన్ అప్లికేషన్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ లెజర్ ఎలా యూజ్ చేసుకుంటుంది పాయింట్. మీరు అకౌంట్ ఓపెన్ చేశారా బ్లాక్చైన్?
ఏదండి?
ఓకే, ఐ విల్ సెండ్ యూ లింక్.
ఓకే.
ఎందుకంటే మీరు ముందు అది రిజిస్టర్ అయ్యి అకౌంట్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే మీకు ఇంకా క్లియర్గా అర్థమవుతుంది. ఓకే,
ఏ అకౌంట్ అంటున్నారు?
బ్లాక్ చైన్ అకౌంట్ ఓపెన్ చేశారా నాకు ఉందా మీకు?
అంటే ఈ
బిట్
ట్రేడింగ్
కాయిన్,
అంటున్నారా?
బిట్ కాయిన్ అకౌంట్
బిట్ కాయిన్. యా ఉన్నదండి, బిట్ కాయిన్ అకౌంట్.
ఉందా?
యా, బైనాన్స్ ఉంది, బిట్రెక్స్ ఉంది. ఐ హావ్
ఓకే
కాయిన్ బేస్ అకౌంట్. యా.
ఓకే ఓకే. అంటే నార్మల్గా మీరు బ్లాక్ చైన్ ఇన్ఫో ఉంటుంది చూడండి, దాంట్లో ఓపెన్
ఓకే.
చేస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే దాంట్లో ఈజీగా మీకు ప్రాక్టీస్ అవుతుంది, అర్థమవుతుంది.
ఓకే.
ఐ విల్ సెండ్ యూ వన్ లింక్ టు యూ. ఎందుకంటే అవి అన్ని మీరు మీరు చెప్పిన ఫారెక్స్ అన్ని దీన్ని ఫాలో డిఫాల్ట్ ఫాలో అవుతాయి. ఆ లింక్ పంపిస్తాను, దాంట్లో రిజిస్టర్ అవ్వండి.
ఓకే.
దీనికి ఓపెన్. ఓకే
ఓకే.
ఓకే. సో టుమారో విల్ డిస్కస్ హౌ దిస్ బ్లాక్ చైన్ అప్లికేషన్ using distributed ledger. Okay. In meantime, I'll send you that link. You can register and open that Bitcoin account. Okay.
ఓకే.
Okay. We'll see tomorrow same time. So you're available for Saturday, Sunday also, right?
యా, ఐఎమ్ అవైలబుల్. లైక్ వీ నీడ్ టు ఫినిష్ దిస్ ASAP. సో
Yeah. So Saturday we'll take 2 hours. Okay.
ఓకే.
Right. Okay. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you.
యా. యా. థ్యాంక్ యూ.